Hello, my name is Bernardo and I'm the co-founder and game director for Playtra. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you right now. We are here in the Playtra studio. There's not a lot of people around for obvious reasons. I want to tell a bit about my journey in the game industry from the very beginning, not many years ago, and what the challenges are and opportunities. So first, a bit about myself. I'm an anthropologist who's always been very interested in games. But first I went to lots of different things. I did some graphic design, then creative direction, worked in tech, wrote books. And then a couple of years ago, I just decided it was time for me to move 100% of my time in game development. So I created Playtra. Here at Playtra, we are working on our first PC and console game. The name is Grid Fight: Mask of the Goddess. It is something that we really love doing. It's a grid-based RPG, strategy, action game. Yeah, it sounds a bit complex, but we love it. The art style is very original, the gameplay is super fun, the soundtrack is awesome, and I think you should try it. It's on Steam. I think when people ask me what inspired me to go into game development, there are quite a lot of things that I can tell about. You know, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you have an idea for a game and you have to write it down. Or when you remember the games that you play when you are a kid or even an adult and see how much inspired you. I think the one game that got me into thinking hard on creating games was Final Fantasy VII. Probably the first one of all kinds of medias who actually got me sobbing. That was a revelation moment for me. This medium of the video game can bring up emotions that sometimes books and movies cannot. That's powerful stuff. I always love strategy games and RPGs, but I think the ones that actually resonate with me are the JRPGs ones and the strategy games from the Western developers of the 90s. They have so much energy and creativity, and I just felt I have to do this sometime. But making games is not easy, as you already know. So I want to make sure that I have the right team, people that inspire me, people I can inspire, people talented and passionate about games. And this just happened 2 years ago. From all mediums, from television to cinema, books, games, I think, are the most perfect ways of telling stories. And I want to tell stories. I want to show people different ways of playing, of being entertained, but also of reflecting about their lives. As game developers and game designers, it's our duty to make people entertain, but also to make people think, to change their minds, to find new possibilities, to discover new worlds. So in this divisive time, games are quite important. You are quite important, and what you do is crucial. Create games is really hard, as you already know. It's equal part art and engineering. So I think one of the main lessons was don't underestimate the work. Doing this right takes time, takes passion, but also takes the courage to say this is not working. At Playtra, we create lots of prototypes, and we have even more game ideas that we love to do. And sometimes you are really in love with something, and you think it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna change the world. But you try and you try and you try again, and it doesn't work, and it's not fun. So my main advice is, if you love your idea, fight for it. But if your idea is not working, maybe it's a good idea to kill it. The other thing is, of course you can create the games by yourself. And some of the games that I love the most were created by just one individual. But when you are in a team, you have to trust your colleagues, their talent and their passion. So when we are doing works here, I'm always open to listen to my colleagues, their ideas, and especially when they say, Dan, is not working. Throughout the development of your game, you're gonna have highs and lows. Quite a lot of lows actually. During the highs, everything works. The game is beautiful, the game is fun, and it's gonna be a hit. During the lows, and trust me, there are a lot of them, nothing works, seems like you're wasting your time, and another game, just like yours, was just launched. In these moments is when you have to trust and respect your colleagues. In these moments is where you have to be there for them. So every time we have a low week at Playtra, we try to cheer each other up, we try to find new ways to make the game fun, and we trust that we are working together towards something great. A few things I wish I knew. First, trends matter. Yeah, we all want to do something original and we all want to do the next big thing, and we should. But ignoring the trends and ignoring what people want to play these days is quite a big mistake. Even if you want to do something different, you have to know what people like. You have to know what is resonating with them. And I'm not talking about PR or the CPI and the rates or how much games are making, but what is making people spend more time in games than on Netflix. So do your homework. Try to understand what people are playing right now and why, and how your great idea can fit in it. Or how your great idea can be the next big thing. What people want to have right now in the game industry that you can provide. That's quite important. The other thing will be great to know in the beginning, and I'm passing to you right now, is how to navigate the publisher's universe. It's a very complex and confused web, and finding the best publisher for you is probably one of the main tasks. Or if you want to go self-publish. So understanding what kind of people can help you out, what kind of people are the best in your game, and how you can contact them, and how can you make friends with them is quite important. Something I would love to know in the beginning, but you know what? I think you have to go through it, and you have to try to get the contacts you need. About my expectations when I started creating games, I think the biggest one was that creating games is just fun. Creating games is not just fun. There's a lot of hidden work. There's a lot of what we call here at Playtra dummy job that you have to keep doing over and over again. When you think things are ready, they are not. When you think things are smooth, they're not. When you think things are fun, they are not. So creating a game is a complex business. It's a fun and fulfilling one, but you have to think about lots of different things. And sometimes the things you have to think about are not necessarily creative, but are vital, and you have to know it. If you are a new developer or part of a small team, the big advice that I can give to you is love your game. Love the concept, love the idea, love the universe, but be ready to kill it if you think it's not going to work. And there's a lot of reasons for you to keep your game alive, but just because you want it is not one of them. You are going to be able to do amazing games, but you're going to kill 100 before you actually make one. It's okay. I think a process that I really like doing, and I used to do also in tech, is when you start creating your game, you start with the biggest idea possible. You start with the most epic, monolithic game concept you possibly can imagine. And then be ready to kill it. Be ready to cut it, be ready to reduce it, to unpack it, to make the amazing idea the smallest version possible. This is very important. As the game development progresses, you see more and more difficulties to get your vision done. As long as the essence of your game, the essence of the amazing mechanic or amazing world is still there, you are good. But remember, start big, compress it, compress it, compress it. If you want to go solo, remember there's a lot of hidden work you have to keep in mind. Create a community is a full-time job by itself, but it's crucial for your game success. Talking to influencers, talking to press, talking to public, all of this takes time and energy from you. But you cannot neglect them. Events are great for the awareness of your game, not in these times of course, but try to be present. Try to show what you did, even if it's not ready. And believe me, you always want to think it's not ready. So put your work out there as soon as possible and let people criticize. Develop a hard skin as soon as possible. You're gonna get 100 compliments but you just care about the one criticism. However, criticisms are very important and you should not ignore them, but give them the right weight. Don't believe what your mom says about your game. She loves you, but she's lying. Go for people who doesn't know you and don't care about your feelings. If they love your game, you know it's true. If you are a new grad trying your first job, my advice is different depending on what your final objective is. If you want to know everything about the game development, from concept to QA, I would suggest you to join a small studio like Playtra. The reason for this is that in a small studio you are exposed to all facets of the game development. If you're going to a big company, you might know a lot and be specialized on something that is very narrow and is part of your area. And there's nothing wrong about it. If you want to be a householding name in your area of expertise, maybe a big company is a better thing for you. If you want to create your own games in the future or lead your own studio, maybe a startup is the best for you. But either way, keep working on your portfolio. Learn new things, learn new techniques, learn new tools. Go on YouTube and find the tutorials that you like and practice. Practice and getting better at what you do are the keys for a good job. People have to know what you're able to, you are capable of. Even if it's not part of a final game, at least it shows you that you have the potential to do it. So keep learning, stay curious. There's one thing though, if you really want to create a game, finish it. It's great to have prototypes in your portfolio, but one little project that you started and you ended tells a lot about you. There's a lot of game developers who have dozens of games they never finished. Being able to get one little project from the beginning to the end proves that you are focused and you're committed. So, congratulations on what you're doing. It took me 30 years to do what you're doing right now. I hope you have all the luck, and I hope you have all the troubles, and I hope you have all the happiness of creating a game. There is no experience in the world like seeing somebody else playing your game and having a great time. You feel like you did this right, and you feel like it was worth it. So go ahead, make amazing games, and let me know. I really want to play it. By the way, nobody noticed that the screen keeps changing, the light keeps changing, there's a lot of noise. We totally didn't film this in different times of the day. Follow Playtra, we have lots of things coming up.
Hey Pietro. Hello.
Hello.
Can you show us what you're doing?
No. Yeah. What do you want to know?
What are you up to right now?
So, this is a beautiful atlas. Atlas.
What is Atlas?
An atlas is a huge texture which contains lots of textures.
It's like a
It's
box.
an inception of text. Lots of trees, skulls, and swords.
That's cool.
And lots of props of our games.
Which game is that?
Can I say the name?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so this is